Hi 8th graders, Hollenbeck here again, and I'm going to help you through lesson 9 of vocab. You can see I'm filming these both in the same evening and in my kitchen. Give you a change of venue here, change of scenery behind me. I'm on page 35 for your lesson 9, and it's analogies, page 130. After we're through with the first 10 words, I'm going to tell you that this is probably one of the most, or one of rather the easiest lessons that we have, especially with the analogies. There's only a couple that are remotely challenging. I won't even go for challenging, that you have to give 2 seconds worth of thought. But if you have out your cheat sheet, that's going to help you immensely, because parts of speech on most of these gives it away. Okay. So our first word is abridge. Abridge. It's one word, so we're not talking a noun, something that covers, like a river. No, that's not what we're talking. Abridge. This spelling, this one word, it's a verb. All right. And it's something that you do when, for instance, the story is far too long. You only have a certain space or a certain amount of time. You might abridge your speech. You're going to shorten it. You're going to condense it, pick out just the kernels of truth, just that little bit of information that you want to get across. It's too long otherwise. Okay? So to abridge it, one reason you would abridge something, like with lesson 8, I try to keep these lessons shorter, okay, than the regular class. I was getting a little verbose. Oh, looky here. Word 10. Okay, when word 10 is verbose and it's an adjective. Okay? So if I'm getting too verbose, I would need to abridge my story. Okay? Now, abridge, once again, is a verb. I can easily change it into an adjective by adding an ed. And then I turn it into a participle, which is an adjective that looks like a verb, but it functions as a modifier in describing something. So, frequently, Chloe will say, "Oh, I want to tell you my dream." Well, it's a very long story, so I'll say, "Oh, can I have the abridged version of it?" Okay, give me the shortened version of it, because we only have an 8-minute drive to school. All right, so you've got to give me the abridged story. Okay, now if it's not too weird for you, if you could follow me with this, let's take a look at word 10, since I've already introduced it. Okay, verbose is an adjective, and verbose means using too many words, going off on tangents and saying a whole bunch more than what is necessary. Okay, so verbose is using too many words. Okay, cut it down, be concise. Now, one person might consider a speaker verbose when another person might consider that speaker thorough. Verbose kind of is used for a person who you would think just is talking to hear themselves talk. Not really talking for a purpose. Okay? So my extra words hopefully help you understand the vocabulary words better. So I'm not really being verbose, but if I were just talking and telling stories just to tell the stories and they really didn't have any point to the vocabulary word, or I even forgot what the point was, right, because I was telling all these stories, then I could be accused of being verbose. Okay? Let's go back, if you could follow me here. Let's go back to word number 2, and I'm going along the list on the top of page 35, alphabetically. Okay? So my next word is emendation. Emendation. Emendation, we did this last Friday when we took a look at some of your VFW essays. We made emendations, which are corrections. We had a coordinating conjunction, but we needed a comma to separate those two independent clauses to make it a compound sentence. Adding that comma was an emendation. We made a correction. Okay? So, if a teacher says, well, I want you to make these emendations on this paper, what that teacher is asking is for you to correct your errors. Okay? Let's see. The third word, finality. Finality. It's a noun. That I-T-Y makes it a noun. Okay? Now, what we have here is an adjective, and when we add that I-T-Y, we change it into a noun. So my adjective is final. Okay? This answer or this judgment is final. Okay? No more talking about it. Okay? This is my final decision. Okay? When I add the I-T-Y, I change it into a noun. Okay? And the finality of a situation means that that situation is now at an end. Okay? The finality of your 8th grade year is going to be a reality soon. Okay? Finality means bringing to an end. All right? Getting some closure on a situation. All right? Feeling the completeness, feeling that a situation is settled or done. Okay? That's the finality of it. It'll still be some time before Jessica Ridgway's family has some finality in this whole situation, this whole ordeal. Okay? Another word that we can think about that does the same thing is fatality. Fatal is my adjective. I put the I-T-Y and I have fatality. Okay? You see, and I changed it to a noun. Same thing, same situation. Okay? We go from an adjective to a noun. Okay. My next word is garrulous. Garrulous. Oh my goodness. This is an adjective, and it not necessarily negative connotations, but it is a connotative word. Okay, it's if I were making an analogy with this, I would put the word garrulous next to talkative, and I would have a degree relationship. Okay, garrulous and talkative. Garrulous, they both mean to talk a lot. But garrulous is, ooh, a lot. And usually it's a lot of nothing, okay? Talking about a lot of just insignificant stuff. I'm thinking that there is that the group that gathers up the lockers at the beginning of the day or beginning of a week, that's some rather garrulous conversation happening there, okay? There's a lot of it, but it's really not that important, all right? Just a lot of talking about silly stuff, okay? That's what garrulous means, okay? Impromptu. Impromptu is an adjective. Now, 8th graders, you should know what impromptu means, because on Thursdays I give you a topic and I make you speak extemporaneously, remember that word, or you have to do an impromptu speech. How long do you have to plan for it? A minute. How long do you have to practice? 0. That's impromptu. Without a lot of preparation, without a lot of practice. You do something, okay? Or you're expected to do something. Impromptu speaking is very challenging, okay? Or you could break out an impromptu song with people. Some of you might decide at a sporting event. You have an impromptu cheer where the crowd just suddenly sings a school song or does a cheer or something, breaks out in a wave or whatever. That's an impromptu cheer. Not planning, not planned, not prepared, not practiced. It's just done. Okay? That's impromptu. Invoke. Invoke is a verb. Okay. And this one's challenging because there are a lot of different prefixes when added with the base word voke. All right, it changes it a bit. So, in your book, and you may or may not realize this, but there's a place that has base or Latin roots. All right. So I'm on page Roman numeral 14. Yeah, 14. Okay. And right at the bottom, I'm looking at the base word, or base root, V-O-C. And it means voice or call. Okay? So, if we add in, right, that prefix in and voice or call forth, what we get is we're going to call in help. If we invoke some assistance, we are calling forth for some help. All right? When we go into chapel, we invoke our triune God to be present in our worship. We invoke His name. We call upon His name to be present in our worship. All right? So invoke means to call from outside source, call them in to us. All right? Call them into us. Okay? I might invoke help when I'm carrying a bunch of stuff up the stairs. I've invoked Chloe's help countless times to help me carry stuff in on a Monday morning, because I usually have tons of stuff. Okay? She invoked my help, though, in carrying in her zoo. So, it's even. Okay? That's invoke. Okay. Our next word is lucrative. Lucrative is another adjective. Okay. And lucrative is, it can be a business term. If you have a lucrative business, that means you're making money. Starbucks is a very lucrative business. All right. They make a lot of money. It's profitable. If you have a lucrative crop of something, you're going to make money off of it, you're going to make a profit, it is lucrative. That's how you would describe it, a lucrative business opportunity. Okay? That's lucrative. Lucrative things make money for you, okay, or profit you in some way. Okay? And it could be if you spent a lucrative time, that means a lucrative time at the on the retreat in God's Word. I mean, you gained from it. Okay, you profited from it in some way. That's lucrative. The next word, shrew. Shrew is a noun, and it can be two things. Okay, its basic noun meaning is a little rodent, little mouse-like rodent. That's a shrew. Okay, they're annoying. Okay, and from that word, that annoying little rodent, a new noun has come out of that, or that word has developed into a new noun, a new meaning of the word shrew, and that is a woman who always nags. Okay, a woman who is just kind of a irascible, nagging, always complaining. That's a shrew. All right. Always negative. Okay. Shakespeare wrote a play, The Taming of the Shrew. And he's not talking about any little mouse. Okay. He's talking about the nagging woman. Okay. How the guy comes in and tames this nagging, irascible woman. It's a wonderful comedy. It's pretty fun. Okay? That's what shrew means. The next word, supercilious. Supercilious. That super prefix is kind of similar to hyper. Okay? Supercilious means very conceited. Okay? Very haughty. Okay? They mean very just snobby. Okay? Always looking down their nose, or looking at a supercilious expression, or you might see this on somebody who's demonstrating a supercilious attitude if they look down their nose when they see somebody else wearing an outfit that they just don't think is very comely. Okay. They might, it's a supercilious reaction. All right, haughty, conceited, okay. Supercilious. And then we talked about verbose already. Did I say that supercilious is an adjective? That OUS, sometimes I'll forget about that to tell you that, because I think, well, OUS, they're always adjective, and they always are. So if I forget to tell you about that, that's why. Let's boogie on over to 130. And like I said, on page 130, there's only like one that is remotely challenging, and it is number 1. And if you follow the part of speech, it's not even hard. Okay? So, number 1, abridge is a verb. Text is a noun. It's not a person noun. It's just a noun. So we have a verb and a noun. Okay? Number 2, expletive is a noun, which you'll learn what an expletive, you know what an expletive is. It'll be addressed in lesson 10. Expletive is a noun. Profane is an adjective. Noun, adjective, noun, adjective. Duh. Okay? Number 3, idiomatic is an adjective. Language is a noun. Adjective, noun, adjective, noun. Same thing as noun, adjective, big duh. Okay? If you're looking on your cheat sheet or you have any recollection from last year, all right, can only be one thing. Number 4, impromptu is an adjective. Spontaneous is an adjective. Okay? You have adjective, adjective. You have 3 choices. Spontaneous or an impromptu appearance by my husband in the background, right? Should give you a hint. It should give you the answer, for Pete's sake. All right, number 5. Intangible is an adjective. Emotion is a noun. Adjective, noun, noun, adjective. Same thing. Only one possible relationship, all right, or analogy. Number 6. Lucrative is an adjective. Unprofitable is an adjective. Now think about the example I gave you and let me put this in sentence form to make it completely and totally obvious. Starbucks is a lucrative business. Starbucks is an unprofitable business. Okay. Number 7. Shrew is a noun. Bad-tempered is an adjective. Noun, adjective, can only be one thing. Number 8. Supercilious, adjective. Haughty, adjective. Okay? Think about my definition. The girl gave a supercilious had a supercilious reaction to the other girl who wore an outfit different from hers. The girl had a haughty reaction to the outfit that wasn't like hers. Okay. Number 9, tawdry is an adjective. Now, tawdry is a word that we'll talk about in lesson 10. Tawdry. Okay. Tasteful is also an adjective. All right. Now, I want you to think back. I'll give you a hint to what tawdry means to help you with this. They're both adjectives, so we have 3 choices. Okay. Let's go back to my definition of ostentatious, and remember that outfit that I was describing, the pink, hot pink mini skirt and the fishnet stockings, the leather thigh-high boots, and my Harley. Yeah, that outfit and that mode of transportation, you get that ostentatious picture. Okay, so that is tawdry. Okay, like, right, that's tawdry. Tasteful. Let's go to number 10. Verbose is an adjective. Wordy is an adjective. Okay. Look at the definitions. Okay. Hope that helps you, and we'll talk to you soon.